Edith Morrison rubbed her calf, the lingering sting of another nighttime cramp fading under her touch. At 79, she was no stranger to the sharp, sudden twinges that woke her from sleep or halted her walks. Her doctor told her it was common in seniors: electrolyte imbalances, dehydration, aging muscles. But Edith wasn't one to accept discomfort as inevitable. She spent the next morning at the library, poring over books and journals, determined to find natural remedies. It was in an old, well thumbed volume on nutrition for healthy aging that she found the thread she was looking for. Several pages were devoted to specific foods that could prevent leg cramps and strengthen muscles. She jotted down a list of the top 5, each promising to offer her legs the support they seemed to need. The first food was bananas. Packed with potassium, they helped maintain proper muscle function and nerve signaling. Edith remembered her grandmother always had bananas in the kitchen, claiming they were the best cure for Charlie horses. That afternoon, Edith bought a bunch and placed them on the counter. Each morning, she sliced one into her oatmeal or ate it with a spoonful of peanut butter. The second food was spinach. Dark leafy greens, rich in magnesium, which worked with potassium to support muscle contraction and relaxation. Edith had always enjoyed spinach salads, but now she made an effort to add a handful to her scrambled eggs, or tuck it into sandwiches. She noticed that the more she included spinach in her meals, the lighter and more stable her legs felt during her daily walks. Sweet potatoes came third on the list. They were high in potassium and magnesium, and their complex carbohydrates provided sustained energy for muscles. Edith started roasting batches of them, seasoned with a little olive oil and rosemary, and served them as a side dish for dinner. They were comforting and nutritious, and her grandson Jacob, who visited on weekends, loved them too. The fourth food was yogurt. Its calcium content was essential for muscle contractions, and it also provided probiotics to support digestion and overall health. Edith hadn't eaten much yogurt before, but she found a plain, unsweetened version she liked. She topped it with berries and a drizzle of honey, making it her new favorite afternoon snack. Finally, there were nuts and seeds, especially almonds and pumpkin seeds. These were excellent sources of magnesium and healthy fats, which supported both muscle health and overall energy levels. Edith kept small jars of mixed nuts and seeds on her kitchen counter and nibbled on them throughout the day. As she incorporated these 5 foods into her routine, Edith noticed changes. The leg cramps that had haunted her sleep began to fade in frequency and intensity. On her evening walks, her legs felt stronger and more resilient. She even ventured out for longer strolls around the neighborhood park, enjoying the cool air and the satisfying rhythm of her steps. One afternoon, her neighbor Alice stopped by and noticed the changes. "Edith, you're looking spry lately. What's your secret?" Edith smiled and invited Alice in for tea. Over cups of chamomile, she explained the foods she'd been focusing on: bananas, spinach, sweet potatoes, yogurt, and nuts. Alice listened intently, nodding as Edith described how these simple additions had made such a difference. "I used to think leg cramps were just part of getting older," Edith said. "But our bodies need certain nutrients to keep our muscles strong and flexible. If we give them what they need, they'll take care of us in return." Alice was intrigued and promised to try adding those foods to her own diet. The two friends made plans to visit the farmer's market together, excited to stock up on fresh produce and yogurt. As the weeks turned into months, Edith's dedication to her new habits never wavered. She experimented with new recipes: spinach and banana smoothies, roasted sweet potato and spinach salads, yogurt parfaits with nuts and berries. Her kitchen became a hub of healthful creativity. She also noticed other benefits beyond her legs. Her energy levels improved, her digestion felt smoother, and her mood lifted. She slept more soundly, and when she woke, her legs were free from the sharp cramps that had once plagued her nights. One evening, as she sat in her favorite armchair by the window, Edith reflected on the journey. It wasn't a miracle cure, she realized, but a steady commitment to nourishing her body with what it needed. Her legs, once a source of frustration, were now a symbol of resilience and care. The list of 5 foods had become more than a grocery list. It was a quiet declaration of self-respect and determination. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a soft glow over her garden, Edith felt a deep gratitude for the simple, powerful steps she had taken to strengthen her legs and her spirit.